your memories of Tommy Raudonikis?
Well, he was so unique. He was always himself, whether it was on the field or off the field, whether he was coaching or guest speaking. He was always himself. He had his own way of doing things. He's obviously very tough. Went over the line sometimes while he was playing. For a small bloke playing in a pretty tough game, he never took a backward step from anyone, which is hard not to respect. Off the field, there was a real gentle side to Tommy. There was plenty of larrikin in him. He loved a good time, but he was also a gentle person that cared a lot for everyone around him. As a coach, it was half between walking into a heavyweight boxing fight or going on a Kentucky tour. Some of the
strategies were a little out there, Freddie.
Oh, absolutely. But that's what you got, You logged on to train, you were screaming and hitting things with bats, and then you'd all walk down to the tab and bet all afternoon and have a laugh and have a beer together.
So you're saying the game plan was fairly simple?
Very, very simple. I remember he called a few of us into his room one day and said, how do you want to defend? And we're sort of saying, what about in their end, Tommy? We'll get nice and tight so we can get up quick off the line, and as we get down the field, we'll move out a little bit wider and sort of come up and in if we can. He said, as long as you do that and smash them. And then we said, we'll do that. He goes, righto, that's done.
Can I ask you a question? And then we move on into your area on Tommy. Did you ever go to one of those ARL coaching clinics in Armidale as a kid? Did you ever do that?
Yeah, I went to the last one. So
Okay.
I went to two of them. They were awesome.
Well, as they now talk about, and I was just saying to John, it seems a no-brainer that the Origin Shield should be renamed the Raudonikis Beatson Shield. And talking to my father, Ray Warren, last night, he talking about them both being the first captains. But you know what? I can now look back and say as a 17-year-old, a group of us were warned severely about the repercussions of breaking camp. And a few of us wandered up into Armidale. There's more pubs than houses, and we wandered into a hotel. Well, they're having a coaches conference. Mr. Bennett wasn't there, Mr. Holman wasn't there, but holding court, I think you'll find Roy Masters was there, and as was Tommy Raudonikis and Arthur Beatson. And you know what they're doing, Freddie? I saw a real life dummy spitting competition where they had the line drawn out and they all had a dummy spit, and they were taking measurements. And you know what? That is a memory I'll never forget. It was just so beautiful. They let us have one midi. They didn't dob us in, but we had to walk back home in about -5 degrees. It was it's wonderful to look back.
They were gold. They were my best memories, I think, of my last ones with him was it was very important that I got him involved with the Origin team when I started coaching in 2018, because he's got so much to do with their history, and also he just speaks so openly about how State of Origin should be played and how it can be won. And at times when we're in Melbourne, because of his health, he couldn't get down there, but he had the open phone to all the players, and he was talking to all the players, and then he had a jersey presentation when we were in Brisbane, and we tried to get a Zoom going last year, but he couldn't quite work the Zoom out, so that didn't quite work. But the players, in speaking to a few of those players, are very emotional, and they love what he had to say. There's something about just him just being so raw and being himself, I think, that everyone was really attracted to.
Fantastic, great memories, lovely tribute.
There wasn't a lot of political correctness with Tommy.
No, well, you know what? He got away with it.
I know.
He made sure he passed away at a good time. Like, considering what's going on at the moment.
Absolutely.
Seriously?